Hey guys, Kaiju here, and today I'm going to be doing a similar list to what the top 5 worst figures were. Now, I know some people are saying, where's the Godzilla Jr. review? Don't worry, that review is already filmed, and I'm going to be putting it up the day after this one goes up. This is just a list similar to the other list that I did, except it's the exact opposite. It is the top 5 best figures that I own. I'm going to be critiquing them on their appeal to me, if the figure looks good or not, like if it's a good figure or not, and just general grading stuff. Also, I'm not going to be including NECA or SH Monster Arts because I feel that would kind of just be unfair to the other ones that I have, so I'm specifically making this Bandai. First up, I'm going to kind of go through these quickly. At number 5, we have King Goldross. In my original review, I didn't say anything incredible about this figure, not to say it's bad or anything, but after a little bit of looking over it, I've changed my mind and I definitely think this figure is a lot more than I originally said it was. The paint and detail is phenomenal. There's a lot of nice little wrinkles around it, which I'm assuming is just gold. And I probably said that in my video too, but I didn't give it enough credit that I should have. The articulation, while somewhat basic, it is more than the usual 4 to 5 points, having 6, and the sizing is also pretty good. So for that reason, King Goldross is number 5. At number 4, we have another Ultraman monster, and this one's also not that significant, but still very good in my opinion. Zygorg. I haven't reviewed this guy yet, but when I do get around to reviewing him, I'm definitely going to say some very, very positive things about the figure. It, for some reason to me, is just incredibly nice. Despite having a couple flaws, which when I do review him I'll talk about, I just think the figure looks incredibly cool. I'm not sure if it's because of the fact that I think Zygorg is an incredibly cool monster, or just the way that Bandai made it, but this guy just looks awesome to me. And definitely a very nice centerpiece for my Ultraman collection. At number 3, we have maybe one of the more controversial decisions, which is the Godzilla Earth, or more specifically, the Godzilla Earth Breathing Atomic Breath. While I think that this figure is missing a couple of things, most specifically an atomic breath piece, which I think, while Bandai probably would never include, I think would have been kind of cool. But despite this, I think that the figure looks really, really nice. I'm not sure really what it is about it, but the light blue contrasting with the much, much darker blue of Godzilla's skin looks really nice to me. It's definitely one of the more beautiful Godzilla figures out there for that reason, in my opinion. At number 2, we have another Ultraman monster, and this one is probably going to be the one a lot of people agree with, which is Natsuno Maryu. I'm pretty sure in my review I praised this figure quite a lot, and I'm about to do that again here. This Natsuno Maryu figure is awesome. There's definitely a reason that a ton of people seek it out, and that's definitely because of the fact that this figure is basically impeccable. Similar to how King Goldross is. There isn't really a bad thing about it. The only thing that I can really think to criticize Natsuno Maryu about is the fact that the paint is somewhat lacking in some areas, but despite this, it still looks incredibly nice and is definitely one of the best Ultraman figures out there. While I do think it is the best Ultraman figure in my personal collection, I do think there's some better ones out there, but this is definitely one up there. Definitely, if you can find them for a good price, get Natsuno Maryu. I'm not going to be including any honorable mentions because I think that would just be unnecessary for this list. And as well as that, I don't have too many figures which I think are, great. So, with that being said, at number 1, Godzilla Jr. As I said earlier, the Godzilla Jr. review is going to come out the day after this video comes out. So I'm not going to say too much because in that review I'll go more in detail. But to sum it up, I think that this figure is phenomenal. Detail and paint is probably some of the best that I've ever seen on a Bandai figure. The articulation, while again somewhat basic, somewhat like most of the figures that I've included on this list, is still pretty good, and the sizing is also pretty good. So for that reason, I think that this figure is great. I think that Godzilla Jr. is definitely a very, very nice figure and definitely deserves the reputation it has as one of the better Godzilla figures. And with that being said, that is my list for my top 5 favorite figures that I own. So, in chronological order, King Goldross, Zygorg, Godzilla Earth, Natsunomariu, and finally, Godzilla Jr. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this top 5 countdown. Maybe in the comment section you guys can leave other suggestions for top 5 countdowns I can do. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.